The topic is ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder in Children. And I would like to take the whole topic, including diet and everything. Treatment wise, I would like to add that since I'm a homeopathic doctor and I practice homeopathy, I would like to take that aspect as well and not the conventional allopathic treatment today. So, what is ADHD? It's a very common neurodevelopmental issue that is seen in kids and adults. Even toddlers are affected. Mostly, it is noticed in the toddlerhood itself. Toddler means around 2 to 3 years of age. It is quite noticeable, and it is associated with a lot of learning disabilities and behavioral issues. So, and about some of the studies say that about 11% of kids in India are affected with ADHD. Although the study group is still very small to conclude, but still the ratios are alarming. For some reason, ADHD is more seen in boys than in girls. Also, it is more easily diagnosed in boys because of the behavior than in girls. And typically, it is seen in preschoolers and toddlers. And by the time we diagnose, mostly they are preschoolers. So, most prominent symptoms of ADHD are inattention, which is not being able to focus, and there is hyperactivity, which means excessive movement, fidgety, and not being able to sit at one place. Then there is impulsiveness, hastiness, rashness, and fearlessness. These are the main features of ADHD. And then we have some types or categories in ADHD, which is inattentive types. Then there is hyperactive types, and then there is a mixed or combined group. Most of the time, we see the mixed group in ADHD. And there are some identifying features and diagnostic symptoms also. We'll talk about that. Uh, in case anyone feels I'm going too fast, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
ma'am, it's going well, so
Yeah,
you can
okay. I would
continue.
like to keep more time for the question answer session at the end because
Yeah,
that is
definitely.
most useful part of the of any presentation. So
Yeah.
anyway, so most common thing we see is not being able to follow instructions or pay attention. This is the most common thing we see. Then they have a problem with focusing on activities. For example, if you give multiple instructions, they may not be able to follow. These kids seem to be lost in their thoughts. Most of the time, they are like daydreaming in the class. Then not being able to finish their schoolwork, homework, or work or duty, whatever is being told to them. They may start, but they may not be able to finish because they cannot focus that much and they tend to daydream. Then they have a problem with organizing things. They may just lose time. They might be messy and maybe disorganized. In older kids, this may be quite noticeable when they are not able to find their things. They may lose things. Books घुमाना, अपनी stationery गुम कर देना, such things may happen, and they cannot have sustained mental work. Uh, 10 minutes, 20 minutes के बाद they are distracted, or sometimes even before that. So these are the symptoms which we see in the inattentive type of ADHD. And I would like to mention that in girls mostly we find this kind of a pattern of ADHD, not the hyperactive type, but the inattentive type. And usually it goes unnoticed most of the times. And they may get scolded for not doing the things, कि आप ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हो, आप पढ़ नहीं रहे हो, but it goes, kind of ignored at times. And the next pattern is hyperactive type. So I'm sure those who know about ADHD, they have clearly noticed the behavior. There is fidgety, there is squirming, not being able to sit at one place. They are running around, they are constantly on the move, they are climbing. There is a rashness, a kind of like fearlessness. They don't have that judgment that they might fall from a certain place. So they will be just climbing and running. And then there is they cannot do a single activity for a long time. Every few minutes they will be changing activities. You are playing with one toy for like 2 minutes and then you are picking up something else, and then the third one. They're always on the go. They talk too much. They may interrupt a lot. These kids might be talkative and curious, but then they interrupt a lot. They may not even wait for the answer the other person is giving. They may complete sentences at times. They are, impulsive and impatient mostly, and they will have trouble waiting for their turns also. If they are in a classroom, then they will not wait for their turn. They want to do everything quickly, and they will interrupt the teacher many times. And this kind of disruptive behavior is very common. Then let's talk about the causes. What causes ADHD? Now, we don't know for sure what is the exact precise cause. It is not like an infection, like you can say coronavirus is causing this or malaria parasite is causing this, but we do have certain factors associated with ADHD. For example, genetic predisposition, which means that if a person in the family has some kind of learning disability, या इस तरह की कोई similar problem, अगर if they remember their own childhood, or if the grandparents remember that your uncle was like that, your father was like that, then they may be able to relate that there is a genetic predisposition. So if you take a detailed history, you may find out that. Then there is stress and anxiety during pregnancy. Now I will vouch for this myself, because I have seen at least about 25 to 30 cases where the mother, because I'm a homeopath, we take a very detailed history of the child and the parents also. So I have noticed that most of the time when kids are hyperactive, yeah, even if they are very active, not ADHD, but very active kids and restless kids are there. And when we ask the history of the mother during pregnancy, they will say that they were very, very anxious during their pregnancy, and they were insecure, they were worried, there was a lot of stress in the house for XYZ reason. It could be any kind of stress, emotional stress or physical stress because of the pregnancy itself. But mothers, if they are anxious, then most of the time they have very restless and maybe hyperactive babies. Then, and I have even noticed that these kids, they may show these restless behavior even in the infancy. For example, they will not sleep that well, they will cry more than others, and you need a lot of energy to calm them down. They are not calm babies basically. Then alcohol and smoking during pregnancy. This is not that common in India, because in India pregnant women are very, very cautious, and usually they don't take alcohol and or smoke during pregnancy. Passive smoking, well, there has been no such research that how passive smoking affects the brain of the baby. We decreased level of dopamine in the brain has been found to be associated with ADHD as per some of the studies. But this may not be the cause. It is just a finding. Also, there is a decrease in dopamine receptors also. So nothing can be done about that. But this is also a finding in some of the research. Then premature births. A lot of kids with ADHD have a history of being born prematurely. This is also one of the associated factors. It may not be the exact cause, but association. So, end of this slide, I would say that we do not have the exact cause of ADHD, but we know about certain factors, and as much as possible, we can avoid those if that is feasible, like maybe stress, anxiety, smoking, such things. Rest is in God's hands. Then ADHD is associated. I see some people are raising hands. If we have some questions, we can address those at the end of the session.
Yeah, ma'am, that we will take the answer questions
Yeah,
at the end
and
of the
they can
session.
even type the message or the
In the
question
chat
in the
box.
chat box. So
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
just, yeah,
I'll put a message for this.
yes, sure. So comorbidities or associated conditions. There are certain illnesses and conditions that are associated with ADHD, and they may be found together. And sometimes we see that उसके साथ में भी exist कर सकता है. Then there is oppositional defiant disorder, which is also a comorbidity, which is also sometimes misdiagnosed also. But yes, oppositional defiant disorder means a tendency towards uh, kind of disruptive behavior and not following the rules. This is a one-liner explanation of this disorder, not following the rules. They don't want to follow. Behavior is also very common in these kids in a later age. Next. So diagnosis कैसे होता है? Diagnose करने के लिए we need basic history and information which is gathered from parents, caretakers, teachers, notebooks and books of kids, and sometimes their drawings and other things. So ये सारी information gather करने के लिए we need this kind of a data. Then observation. Observation is the most important thing which I feel simply 10-15 minutes के observation में काफी कुछ diagnose हो जाता है, but we still suggest that at least 2 meetings are required to make a final diagnosis. Then clinical examination to rule out other problems, and then there is the interview of the parents and caregivers, and then there are diagnostic scales which are basically questionnaires. क्वेश्चनर्स में से कितने क्वेश्चन यस है, नो है, एंड उसका स्कोर क्या आया है, उसके बेसिस पे वी मेक अ डायग्नोसिस. Then fitting to the DSM of psychiatry criteria. DSM means Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Psychiatry, जो कि सारी psychological illnesses का एक आपको एक diagnostic features बताती है. If the person is fitting in that criteria, then a diagnosis is made accordingly. ये काम पूरा experts करते हैं, which is usually a clinical psychologist, and then there is the pediatric psychiatrist and their associates. So this is what they do to make a diagnosis. There are no lab tests available for this. ना ही कोई imaging techniques है इसको diagnose करने के लिए. Only on the basis of this interview and this observation and examination, the diagnosis is made. Then we talk about the treatment. So if you can see, there is a long list of therapies. बहुत सारी therapies हैं यहाँ पे. First is psychotherapy. Psychotherapy is applicable in slightly older kids. At least minimum 6 या sometimes 8 years के बाद ही psychotherapy जो है वो applicable होती है. For kids younger than that, psychotherapy is not useful at all. Yes, but talk therapy, play therapy, discussions may be possible with kids younger than that. Behavioral therapy, CBT, these are very useful for kids, and parents are also involved in this kind of therapy because it is the parents that who have to deal with the kid all day. So behavioral therapy is very useful. Social skill training. Now kids with ADHD, they do have trouble communicating and they do have trouble in a social setting. So social skill training is very important for them. And as they grow older, because of their impulsive behavior, they may have trouble making friends. So social skill training is very important for them because loneliness can lead to more isolation, aggression, and symptoms of depression. So this is a very important part of the treatment for kids who are above 6 or 7 at least. Then there is speech therapy and special education. Like I said before, most of these kids with ADHD, about 40% of them will have some learning issues. So some kind of a speech therapy and special education and tuitions and special care is required. Even the teachers need to know this, they need to understand, and they need to plan their studies, assignments. Sometimes they have to give extra time to that child to finish the work. These things are very important part of treatment. Then there is art, play, music, dance therapy, and physical activities. Now, as we have seen the symptoms, we know that these kids have a lot of energy. So, dance and physical activities, play therapy, sports, these are a very important part of treatment and even routine for them because they need to utilize all that energy that they have in something productive, and they need to spend their energy well. So free play time plus organized sports दोनों recommended है, दोनों अपनी जगह उनका एक रोल है. So I suggest free play time, आराम से खेलो, cycling करो, दौड़ो, भागो, and then there is a slightly organized sports like maybe playing cricket with friends or maybe a tennis or something as per the age of the child. Then dancing, music, these therapies are very useful. Art and music, particularly craft, art, music, these things are very helpful in making them focus, and making them learn to sit for some time. These are very, very useful. And most of the time, when I see a child who may have mild symptoms of ADHD, or which is not diagnosed as ADHD, but they are restless kids and toddlers are there, we tell the parents to just follow this art, craft, music therapy, singing, just to learn to make them sit for some time. थोड़ी देर बैठना सिखाने के लिए ये चीजें बहुत ज्यादा यूजफुल है. And they, besides being therapeutic, your child is also learning something, so it is recommended for every child and especially for an ADHD child. Then counseling of parents and caregivers, this is an extremely important part of the treatment. Counseling for parents and caregivers, इसके बिना कोई treatment पूरा हो ही नहीं सकता है, because since the patient is a small child, usually around 5-4 ये age group के बच्चे हैं, so that caregivers need to know everything. Then caregivers have to learn to deal with them. उनके tantrums को कैसे handle करना है, उनको कैसे calm down करना है. So many things are there. So this is a very important part of treatment. In fact, this is the first part of treatment which we start with, especially when the child is very young. पूरा का पूरा treatment का दारोमदार उनके parents पर होता है, even grandparents at times. Then there are some tips and techniques that help in the treatment. First is क्योंकि ये बच्चे बहुत जल्दी अपना focus lose कर लेते हैं और बहुत ही जल्दी distract हो जाते हैं. Within seconds they get distracted. So first 3 points are being organized. Being organized means आपकी चीजें जगह पे होना, आपकी चीजें समय पे होना, आपका schedule fix होना. ये चीजें बहुत जरूरी है, because we don't want distractions and deviations. Anything which is hatke from routine may distract them and make them confused, maybe aggressive sometimes, maybe anxious and restless sometimes. So we need to follow a routine and avoid distractions and deviations. ये है first. Then there is rewards and positive reinforcements. पॉजिटिव reinforcement या रिवॉर्ड का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि हमें बच्चे को चॉकलेट्स देनी है, टॉयज देने, ऐसा नहीं है. What I suggest is small rewards, like जैसे कि usually I tell my patients कि आप किसी colored paper पे या red color के paper पे या golden paper पे to make hearts or stars or something like that, and or maybe some stickers, you give it to your child whenever the child is behaving nicely. For example, उन्होंने कोई activity आराम से बैठ के पूरा किया, कोई drawing पूरा किया, homework पूरा किया, कोई आपने खाना दिया, उन्होंने बिना गिराए अच्छे से वो खाना फिनिश किया. और if they are being polite, if they are being they're talking very nicely, and they do some good behavior which is expected during treatment, so आप उनको छोटा सा reward दीजिए, like 1 star, and या point system कर सकते हैं. And when they collect certain rewards or points or stars, you can give them a small treat. For example, outing, आपकी favorite movie, or maybe a small toy. I do not recommend too much of material gifts like chocolates and toys, but sometimes if we give these kind of things, it is really useful. And बच्चा हो या बड़ा हो, rewards, points सभी को अच्छे लगते हैं. So it is a very good way of even small punishment sometimes. Small punishments like आपने जो stars दिए से आपने 1 star उसमें से वापस ले लिया. Just to make that person understand कि आप इसको फिर से कमा सकते हो by doing good behavior. Right? So it's a very tiny, very small punishment, not something major, but then just to make the person understand the value of that thing. कि आपने कमाया और गवाया कैसे किया. Anyway, then timeouts and avoiding overstimulation. So sometimes I'll give a simple example. If there is a birthday party, आप ही के बच्चे का birthday है and he's overstimulated by the music and so many, and they are behaving. So in that case we suggest a timeout कि आप उस situation में जो बच्चा act out कर रहा है, tantrum throw कर रहा है, या बहुत overstimulated, hyper हो गया है, then we take them out for like 5 or 10 minutes and maybe just talk to them about it. Yeah, let them calm down a little bit, because ऐसी situation में अक्सर मैंने देखा है कि बच्चे overwhelmed हो जाते हैं, they start shouting or throwing and aggressive and such things. So time out is very useful, and overstimulation जो है वो हमें avoid करना है. Especially I've seen noise or music and too many people, जैसे पार्टी है वहाँ जो बच्चे ऑलरेडी ADHD जिनको है या रेस्टलेस नेचर के हैं वो काफी ओवर एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, they start throwing tantrums. Then quality time with family, playmates, and smaller groups. So why I insist on smaller group is because ADHD kids tend to become very overwhelmed when they are in crowds. So कम लोगों में या एक या दो बच्चों के साथ खेलना उनके लिए ज्यादा आसान होता है. It's simpler for them to play with one or maybe two kids. And this is how we make them learn how to share toys, follow instruction. For example, एक बच्चा अच्छा से drawing कर रहा है और जो दूसरा है जिसको ADHD है वो नहीं कर पा रहा है, so he can just follow that other child. If it is a bigger group and all the other kids are doing really well and he's not able to draw that well, then he may feel small. He may feel a little inferior to them कि मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ शायद. But if there is a smaller group, only two kids are there or three are there, then he may be able to cope. कि okay मैंने भी कर लिया चलो. Okay, so there is less competition, there is less of comparison, and then they tend to do better. They tend to win, maybe. Then there is relaxation techniques. So even for smaller kids, as old as 5, we can teach them some relaxation, breathing exercises, shavasana, yoga, music, relaxing, creative visualization. This is what I do for my child sometimes. That if he's very restless, he's not able to sleep sometimes. So I will just tell him to close eyes and visualize certain things, and so this relaxation techniques are very useful, and we can certainly teach them to kids as old as 4.5. Boosting the self-esteem. Now kids with ADHD are typically criticized a lot, and टोकना बोलना ये this is very common. So उनका self esteem boost करने के लिए हमें कुछ करना चाहिए, because as they grow they realize that there is a problem with them. So self-esteem boost karna, confidence unka बढ़ाना is a part of treatment. It really helps, and it also makes them. It is a kind of positive reinforcement again. So it helps them do better things rather than being more critical. And diary and journal writing. So छोटे बच्चों के लिए तो it's really difficult. But for kids above 6 or 7, diary writing, journal writing is really helpful. Even drawing whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking about, or in whatever language you can, journal writing really helps. It also helps the parents or caregivers or the doctor to understand what they are thinking. So it is helpful in the treatment also. And sometimes these kids, they may be very talkative, but they are not able to express themselves so well at times. So इसीलिए journal writing is therapeutic. Especially if there is a teenager, then journal writing really helps. I've seen that. So medication. So medication is required in some cases. Some may not need medication. They may need only therapies and some guidance, especially the milder ones. Homeopathy and flower remedies have been, I have used them for like almost like 14 years now, and they have been very safe and very useful in these kind of problems. ADHD, anxiety disorder, and many other things, depression also in teenagers. So we can start them as soon as we notice the symptoms. Even I have given to some kids who were like 3.5 around. I will be showing a case also. So they are safe, they can be given, there are no side effects, and results are good. And along with that, therapy is invariably required. So medication is a part of treatment, not the whole treatment. Coming to diet. Now, this is a very important part, and this is also the part जो parents हमेशा पूछते हैं about sugar and dairy and gluten and other things. So let's start with sugar. So पहले मुर्गी आई या अंडा, तो पहले हाई शुगर का इंटेक हुआ और फिर हाइपर एक्टिविटी हुई और फिर शुगर लो हुआ एंड बच्चे ने शुगर वाली चीजें और मांगी लाइक बिस्किट्स और मेरी समथिंग. So it is like that. High sugar intake is associated with ADHD. The kids will exhaust themselves. They are active, they will exhaust themselves. Then they will ask for sugar and carbs. Then they will become more active. It's like a vicious cycle. So sugar intake should be low. Moderation में भी नहीं, low ही better है, because anyway sugar is not good for health. Then there is vitamin B12. B12 deficiency is very common in everyone these days, especially Indians में अभी पहले नहीं होती थी. अब why it is happening? Because we are not getting fresh dairy. ताजा दूध हमें आजकल नहीं मिलता है. We are getting used to buying all the packaged milk. Amul, Sanchi, सब packaged milk. It's not fresh. And as the milk gets staler, पुराना होते pasteurized होते B12 is lost in the environment. So it is advised to have fresh milk from दूध वाला. निकाल के लाए हैं and immediately आप उसको लो, same day consume करो. Then you get some vitamin B12. So it is advised to have good amount of B12 in the diet. So that reduces the restlessness to some extent. Then wholesome and nutrition and timely food. Timely food is very important because when food is not taken on time, it causes mood swings. And already the child is having lot of mood swings. Aggression bhi hai, they are lost also. Sometimes they are very active, sometimes they are very low, sometimes they have a sudden mood swing. So timely खाना खाने से हम mood swings को थोड़ा minimize कर सकेंगे. And everyone knows who has a kid that a hungry child is a very cranky child already. So timely meals देना बहुत जरूरी है. Then changes in diet and routine. They have been noticed. It is noticed that they cause changes in behavior. Even as an adult, I can say if I am not eating time, if my routine is different, I may not feel as good. So ये चीजें ADHD वाले बच्चों में बहुत ही heightened हो जाएगी. So diet में routine में change जितना minimum हो उतना अच्छा है. Then there is the omega-3. Omega-3 supplements, omega-3 in general is required for brain development. So omega-3 supplements अगर हम देते हैं और वो चीजें हम फूड में इंक्लूड करते हैं, so it is very beneficial for any child. So for ADHD it is a must. Then dairy and gluten. इसके बारे में काफी लोग पूछते हैं, but there is no concrete definitive study that says कि gluten की वजह से ये problem हो रही है या dairy की वजह से हो रही है, especially Indian kids. अभी हम लोग तो जब से 6 months के बाद जब हम खाना शुरू करते हैं तो हम तो ग्लूटेन तो देते ही है, वीट तो चालू होता ही है, सूजी, रवा वगैरह वगैरह. So I don't think it is causing it, but if somebody has a sensitivity to dairy or gluten, then they can be stopped. Otherwise, it is fine. Then fresh organic dairy, meat, eggs are important. They will help keep up the levels of vitamin D and B12 and good proteins. Even for जैसे कि हमने डोपामिन के बारे में बात करी थी. So डोपामिन का लेवल मेंटेन करने के लिए डेयरी एंड गुड प्रोटीन्स, एग्स वगैरह जो है they are useful. Bananas are also mentioned. So in short, अगर हम बात करें तो wholesome diet that includes everything, हर food group, dairy, maybe some meat, some eggs, some vegetables, some fruit, and less sugar, less maida. This is applicable to every individual and ADHD child both. So next I'm showing a case of ADHD. So the name is changed. This was a child that visited the clinic some 2 years back, and he was around 3.8 at that time. It was a little early to diagnose, but the things were very clear. The issue for which his parents brought him was recurring upper respiratory infections. Now, you need to understand that the parents were not aware that this is a major issue. They brought him for the upper respiratory, sardi, khasi, recurring colds and fevers. So while we take the history, and we take about half an hour to take the history, and we observed him, it was very clear that he was extremely restless, fidgety. He would not follow instruction. He would not sit at one place. He would just jump around all the time. And again, this behavior is common in preschoolers. But his father, he clearly mentioned कि ये हर थोड़ी देर में हमें कहता है अब क्या करूं, अब क्या करूं. He was extremely restless, and sometimes teeth clenching, दांत खींचना, striking, hitting, aggression was there. And he was also an only child. So the parents had to engage him all the time. Pura din engagement. So the diagnosis was very clear. I did not send him for a formal interview because things were clear, and मेरा अपना जो खुद का scale है उसके हिसाब से मैंने उसको diagnose किया, and we started the medication. Ideally we send to a child psychiatrist also, or this thing psychologist for a proper interview, but sometimes the things are very very clear, you need not go there, but ideally it should be done. Then, based on the above history for the upper respiratory infection and hyperactivity both, we gave him homeopathy. And within few months, some changes were noticed. His health also improved. And first thing that they noticed was the aggression was little less. And he started to sit at one place. That was the first change they observed, that he was sitting at one place. Play therapy, music, art therapy was advised to him. And he started to draw things, drawing, some craft activity, some kind of paper sticking things. As per his age, he was only 3.8. So ये उसने करना शुरू किया. So they noticed some changes. Now it has been about 3-4 years. The child is almost 7-year-old now. अभी भी आता है वो कभी कभी. Sometimes as the season will change, he will come for cold and cough maybe once a year. And now the feedback from school is that he's a good child. He's able to study well. He sits in the class. Although he's still very active, which is his basic nature. He's quite an active child. He plays a lot. But the disruptive behavior, constant engagement that was required is no more there. He will sit and play with Lego. He will finish his homework. So this is what is expected from the treatment. Okay. Next. So there is some advice for the parents. This is a very important part. And first thing I would say is don't be in denial. आप चीजों को deny मत करिए. If somebody is giving you a feedback that there is some problem with the child, for example, the teacher is saying, or maybe one neighbor is saying, or somebody who is your well-wisher is saying that there is something wrong with the child, and maybe you should just check for this behavior, or they're pointing out the behavior simply. Don't be in denial. Be open-minded. Accept that there may be some problem, and if even जो हमने symptom list देखी थी, we saw a whole long list of symptoms. There were like 7 or 8 of the symptoms were there. उसमें से अगर 2 या 3 भी अगर है, तो there is no harm in checking with an expert. If we are able to diagnose the condition early at a much younger age, and again, I don't say that we should be giving medication to every child, but some kind of therapy and some kind of counseling can be done for the parents so that they can handle the situation well, and maybe the ADHD condition can be avoided also. For example, the child may not have ADHD, but he may be very very restless only, so we can avoid the avoid that it will not get worse at least. Then a calm atmosphere at home. So, like I said, anxiety in mothers can be noticed. It is quite eminent that mothers who are anxious, they may have ADHD children. So, calm atmosphere घर में होना is very very important. And sometimes when the diagnosis is made, there is lot of fights and arguments among parents. For example, they will start blaming each other. आपकी वजह से हुआ, आपकी वजह से हुआ, या फॉर एग्जाम्पल दे विल ब्लेम द इन-लॉज कि आप लोगों का इतना स्ट्रेस था इसलिए ऐसा हुआ, एंड या फिर they will start blaming the family members, and this kind of behavior is very often seen. And because of the stress levels and therapy and going to doctors, the parents will argue a lot. And what I have seen is um, this kind of behavior, the kids will notice this kind of behavior and they become very very anxious and restless. If the parents are fighting, kids will behave in a different manner. Sometimes they will be very scared, they will hide in their room, sometimes they will start mediating, sometimes they will become restless, sometimes they will start blaming one parent, they will pick sides, mummy sahi hai, papa galat hai, is tarah ki cheezein. It is not good for any child. So calm atmosphere and logically speaking, logical discussions are encouraged in the family. एंड ब्लेमिंग जो कि बहुत कॉमनली हो जाता है, उसके लिए हम पेरेंट्स को हमेशा काउंसिल करते हैं कि प्लीज डोंट ब्लेम ईच अदर फॉर दिस बिकॉज वी डोंट नो द कॉज. Then delay in treatment and intervention. So even for therapy, I've seen that most of the people will just delay it कि अभी नहीं, अभी रुकते हैं, अगले साल देखेंगे, अभी तो बच्चा छोटा है, 4 years का ही है, लेट्स वेट फॉर 1 more year, 5 years का है, लेट्स वेट फॉर 1 more year. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम इज वेस्टेड. अब इस वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम के बारे में आपको बताती हूँ मैं. At around 3.5 to 4 years, when the child is sitting and learning to write, now आपने एक साल पूरा निकाल दिया, अब वो 5.5 का हो गया है और वो लिख नहीं पा रहा है. So now he will not be able to cope up with his peers. बाकी के बच्चे ABCD शॉर्ट सेंटेंसेस लिख रहे हैं और ये बच्चा ABCD ही लिख पा रहा है केवल. So this delay in treatment will lead to delay in other things. वो एज के हिसाब से कोप अप नहीं कर पाएगा बच्चा, एंड देन दैट चाइल्ड विल फील इंफीरियर. सो दैट लीड्स टू अनदर इशू. So timely treatment intervention is very important in this situation, and parents need to understand that. Some parents will say कि ठीक है, हम भी लेट बोले थे, ये भी लेट बोलेगा, हम भी ऐसे थे, ये भी ऐसा था. But then my point usually is कि आप मेडिकेशन मत स्टार्ट करो, बट एटलीस्ट थेरेपीज पे ध्यान देना जरूरी है, प्लस पेरेंट काउंसलिंग. क्योंकि बहुत सारी लास्ट 1 year से तो बच्चे घर पर ही पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, है ना. सो पेरेंट्स की काउंसलिंग एंड हाउ टू डील विद सच किड्स, हाउ टू मेक देम सिट, हाउ टू मेक देम डू देयर होमवर्क, क्लास वर्क, ये चीजें अगर हम जल्दी कर लेंगे तो देयर इज नो हार्म इन दैट. देन देयर इज fear of medication. A lot of people are scared of giving medication to the kids. And yes, fear कुछ हद तक सही है, because there are side effects of treatment sometimes. But one has to weigh. कोरोना का वैक्सीन आया है, उसके थोड़े साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं, लेकिन कोरोना के वैक्सीन के पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट्स क्या हैं उन लोगों के लिए, ये भी वे करना जरूरी है, राइट. जस्ट गिवन एन एग्जांपल. Alternative treatments are also available. If you don't want to go for the conventional allopathic treatment, then other treatments are also available. तो जो भी जिस फील्ड के एक्सपर्ट है उनकी एडवाइस लेके आप ये काम कर सकते हैं. यू कैन डिसाइड मेडिकेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड और नॉट. अगर रिक्वायर्ड है तो क्या देना है, क्या नहीं देना है. सो फियर ऑफ मेडिकेशन could be completely eliminated. Next is consistency in behavior and parenting strategy. So कई बार ऐसा होता है कि पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल्स जो हैं लोगों के, पेरेंट्स के आपस में या ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के, दे आर कंप्लीटली ऑपोजिट. वन इज सेइंग यू आर अलाउड टू जंप ऑन द बेड, अदर इज सेइंग नो, यू आर नॉट अलाउड टू जंप एट ऑल. और वन हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट अ चाइल्ड वांट्स टू जंप. So let's give him an assigned place to jump. Okay, this is the place, this is a safe place, you can jump on this. But don't jump on a chair because you may fall down, right? You are allowed to have so many chocolates or biscuits in a day. You are not allowed to have this many chocolates and biscuits. Even for the behaviors, if a child is talking rudely to, for example, some neighbor, and one person is laughing, ठीक है बच्चा है बोल दिया, and the other person is being strict, नहीं, you cannot talk like this, आप ये चीज ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते हैं, आप फेक नहीं सकते हैं, यू कैन नॉट हेट योर फ्रेंड, सच थिंग्स. तो ये पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल्स जो हैं, इसमें कंसिस्टेंसी होनी चाहिए. इफ वन इज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट एंड अदर इज वेरी लीनियंट और इवन इग्नोरेंट, देन द चाइल्ड गेट्स कंफ्यूज्ड. सो पेरेंट्स और ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स को मिलके दे हैव टू हैव अ स्ट्रैटेजी कि इस सिचुएशन को कैसे डील करें, कितना स्ट्रिक्ट बने, कितना लीनियंट बने, क्या चीज कितने लेवल तक बर्दाश्त है, अलाउ करें. That includes sugar intake, that includes behaviors, etc. Play time है. There are kids who will play till 9 p.m. रात के 9 तक खेल रहे हैं और फिर 10 बजे खाना खा रहे हैं. And by the time it is 10, they are super cranky. हाँ, आप उनको जल्दी खेलने भेज सकते हैं, आप उनको 5 बजे खेलने भेज दीजिए और 8 बजे तक घर बुला लीजिए ताकि वो अपना खाना खा ले टाइम पे. Then they are less cranky. I'm just giving an example. But parenting styles are very, very important in such cases. सो पेरेंट्स के पास एक स्ट्रैटेजी, एक प्लानिंग और एक सिंक होना चाहिए. देन लास्ट पॉइंट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज गिल्ट. समटाइम्स आफ्टर द डायग्नोसिस इज मेड, पेरेंट्स फील रियली गिल्टी एंड डिप्रेस्ड. मेरे साथ ये क्यों, हमारे बच्चे के साथ क्यों, हमने ऐसा क्या किया, एटसेट्रा थिंग्स. सो आई वुड जस्ट से कि आप हमेशा ये याद रखिए कि एज अ पेरेंट आपकी एज उतनी ही है जितनी आपके बच्चे की है. आपका बच्चा 5 का है तो एज अ पेरेंट आप भी 5 साल के हैं, आप 50 साल के नहीं है. पेरेंटिंग किसी इंस्टीट्यूट में सिखाई नहीं जाती, हम इसको फिगर आउट करते हैं. एज वी ग्रो एज अ पेरेंट, वी ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड, वी रीड, हम अपने बड़ों से पूछते हैं, हम एक्सपर्ट्स की सलाह लेते हैं, हम यूट्यूब पे जाके सर्च करते हैं, हम पेरेंटिंग वर्कशॉप्स अटेंड करते हैं, कभी कभी हम टीचर से डिस्कस करते हैं, वी डू दीज थिंग्स. सो पेरेंटिंग इज अ लर्निंग प्रोसेस. बच्चे के साथ साथ हम भी एज अ पेरेंट ग्रो कर रहे हैं. सो गिल्टी फील मत करिए. Focus on how to become a better parent. Maybe you are not a perfect parent, but you can become a better parent. So this is how I would like to end the session, and then we can take the question answers.
Thank you, madam, for the wonderful session. Now I ask if anybody will have any question, you can post it on the chat session. I have enabled the chat section, so you can post your questions over there.
I don't see anything useful in the chat section.
I just did the chat
I am
section
seeing a lot of
enabled.
private messages, and they are not very useful.
Yeah,
They look
definitely.
like spam.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have disabled the chat section over there, and just now I enabled it.
Okay. So some people were raising hands, so we can have the direct questions also, if that is
Yes,
comfortable.
yes, yes. I didn't see anyone raising the hands. Is anyone having any query? You can raise your hand or you can put your queries on the chat section. Yeah, ma'am. One question is there.
Okay. So the question is, the child is facing insomnia, and he's not mixing with friends, and he's not able to concentrate on focus on anything. Okay. So unfortunately, in the last 1 year, because of the COVID, kids are at home, and we have to engage them constantly. लगातार हमें उनको engage करना पड़ रहा है, and they are missing their friends. बड़ों का एंगेजमेंट अपनी जगह है, लेकिन एक बच्चे को बच्चे से बात करना अच्छा, जैसे हमें अपने एज के लोगों से बात करना, इंटरेक्ट करना अच्छा लगता है, वैसे ही बच्चों को भी बच्चे ही अच्छे लगते हैं. सो आई सजेस्ट कि बच्चों को दोबारा उस एनवायरनमेंट में, थोड़ा सा गार्डन में, थोड़ा सा कॉरिडोर में या घर पर उनके पुराने फ्रेंड्स के साथ खेलना थोड़ा सा शुरू करेंगे, एंड स्लोली यू विल सी दैट दे विल कम बैक टू द नॉर्मल सेल्फ. वो अपने पुराने बिहेवियर में वापस आएंगे, एंड यू विल सी दैट दे विल बी जैसे पहले खुश रहते थे, मस्तियां करते थे, जंपिंग करते थे, दे कम बैक टू नॉर्मल. दूसरी बात, इंसोम्निया. सो बिकॉज किड्स आर नॉट स्टिमुलेटेड इनफ, उनकी उतनी खेलना, उनकी उतनी एक्टिविटी हो नहीं रही है, भागना दौड़ना ये वो, इसलिए उनका भूख और नींद दोनों कम हो गया है. This I have observed in my own kids also, because if they are playing less, then they are not hungry and they are not sleepy. So उनको थोड़ा सा दिन में, शाम में, इवन रात में, जब आपको लगता है थोड़ा टाइम आप स्पेयर कर पा रहे हो, या तो एक हाथ दो फ्रेंड्स को बुला लीजिए या उनको भेज दीजिए खेलने के लिए. They will start eating, sleeping and behaving normally. This is not a major psychiatric issue, don't worry about it. But थोड़ा चीजों को normalize करने से काफी फर्क पड़ेगा.
One more question is there. I mean, not a question. It's just the request that the list of symptoms of ADHD was not seen by Dr. Sonal Gowde. So, can you please?
डॉक्टर सोनल, मैं फिर से स्क्रीन शेयर करती हूँ. लेट मी जस्ट डू दैट. As such, the whole information is available on Google, and textbook, बहुत कुछ, there's nothing very unique in that. Let me just share.
Another question is also there, ma'am. How to improve the vocabulary of a child who at 2 years is not articulating words?
See, vocabulary improve at 2. Most of the kids will say some 20 to 30 words, only words. So what I suggest is, पहली चीज, हमारे आसपास की चीजें जिनसे बच्चा रिलेट कर पाता है. For example, water, glass, पानी, phone, जिन चीजों से बच्चा रिलेट कर पा रहा है, उनको देख समझ या यूज कर पा रहा है, एप्पल, खाना, मम्मा, डैडी, सच थिंग्स. सो वो चीजें पॉइंट करना है और बच्चे की तरफ देखना है कि आप रिपीट करो, राइट? सो इनिशियली दे विल ओनली हियर, they will not repeat, they will only hear, but gradually they start repeating. So keep trying, बस कोशिश करते रहिए और वही चीजें बताइए जो कि जो रिलेटेबल है, ठीक है, जो चीजें वो सामने देख सकते हैं. Only those things. Okay. At 2 to 2.5, they will know 30-40 words maximum. And at 2.5, they can join two words to make a khana de do, bahar jana, such things. Short, very short sentences. Again, gender difference also plays a role. Girls will speak slightly earlier than boys. This is what I have observed. So, symptoms of ADHD. So, this is the slide. You can go through that. There are 2 slides of symptoms. Meanwhile, I can take another question.
Yeah, ma'am. I think this much questions are there from the audience side.
Okay, great. Next slide. There are 2 slides of the symptoms. So most commonly, what you see in a ADHD child is fidgety, not being able to sit at one place, rashness, fearlessness. Kahin se bhi jump, kahin se bhi climb, running about, lot of running about. They're always on the move. Sometimes they will talk too much. Sometimes they will talk very fast, and they will not let you finish. They will interrupt a lot, and sometimes they will disrupt the classroom. Typically, these symptoms are seen and easily diagnosable है ये. हाँ, लड़कियों में patterns थोड़ा अलग है. Concentration and focus के problems वहाँ ज्यादा है, and then there is daydreaming, lot of daydreaming. So वो कम diagnose हो पाता है, वो कम notice में आता है. But then the parents will say कि बच्चे को पढ़ाई में problem आ रही है, they are not, they forget, they don't listen, they don't observe. So that is also a type of ADHD.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful, informative session that you delivered. And from everyone, I would like to say thank you. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me. I enjoyed this session and looking forward for more. And my website is also given. My email ID is also there. If anybody wants to get in touch, they can.
Definitely, ma'am.
And thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.